Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. I'm here with my friend Paityn again today. Paityn, what are we going to be making?
We're going to be making chocolate macarons.
From scratch, let's get started.
What you're going to need to make chocolate macarons is 2 egg whites, 1 cup of confectionery sugar or icing sugar, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of almond
ground almonds. Yep.
Any type of hazelnut spread such as Nutella, and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder.
And we're also going to be using a regular piping bag and about 1/2 inch sized open round center here. And this happens to be a Wilton 1A tip. So we're going to also need to be using a food processor this time, or you can use something like a blender. So we're going to start the first process coming up next. So the first thing we need to do is put our ground almonds into our food processor. And Paityn, if you want to put in the icing sugar, careful, I'll help you out here. Get a little big poof. There we go. And the cocoa powder. And we're going to put it in and we're just going to let it grind up for about 15 seconds. And it gets loud, so be careful with your ears, Paityn. Here we go. Told you it was loud. So after that, we're going to just give it a quick little stir. I just want to make sure that what's left around the outside is incorporated in here. And I'll just give it another little, probably just about 5 seconds. And then we'll be back to mix it up the next step. So we have our mixture ground up here. Now Paityn is going to work a bowl and a sifter, and I'm just going to put a little in at a time. And what this is going to do is going to make sure that if there's any chunks of the almond left in here, it's all going to be stuck in the sifter, and it won't make our macarons very crunchy or anything. We want them to be really nice and fine. So we're going to sift the rest of this stuff, and then we'll be back. Once you have the almond mixture sifted all together, you're just going to put that off to the side because you won't need that for a little bit. And then in the bowl we have our 2 egg whites. So Paityn, if you want to go ahead and put them into the mixer here. And I've got the whisk attachment fitted, and I'm going to whisk the egg whites until they form soft peaks. So we've got nice soft peaks here with just the egg whites themselves now. And so I'm going to turn it back on, and we're going to whisk it again until it's a glossy meringue. And while I turn it on, Paityn's going to slowly add in the sugar. So once the meringue is glossy, you want to make sure that when you pull it up, the little tip down there is nice and firm. That will mean that you have a stiff peak. So we're going to clean off our spatula or our paddle here, and we're going to get ready to bring back the almond mixture and mix the egg whites and the almond mixture together. So what's up next is that we're going to add 1/3 of the almonds into the meringue mixture. So if you want to dump a little bit of that in. You don't have to be exact, just approximately. And then with my spatula, I'm just going to do what's called folding. I'm just coming up underneath the ingredients, and I'm just coming back over top. So this is just how you want to fold in everything in order so you don't break down the egg whites. And what happens if we mix it too much, Paityn?
If you mix it too much, it's going to form, when you put it in the oven and take it out, it's going to be cracked on the top of the shell. If you don't fold it in enough, it's going to be flat. So this part is probably the most important part to the macaron process, and you just have to do it really carefully and just go about it quite slowly. I'm going to put a little bit more in because I think that'll be a lot for the end. There we go. So it takes a while, but it's definitely worth it because you want to spend your time here really carefully, and you're going to end up with a glossy, chocolatey batter when you're all finished. So I'm going to keep folding this in, and I'll get Paityn to add the final amount in a little bit, and then once it's all mixed in and incorporated, we'll be back to show you what it looks like. So we have the mixture all folded together here, and with that mixture, once it's all put together, I've just put my tip onto the end of my piping bag, and I'm just going to put it into
my bag, hopefully, just like this. And then in the meantime, I'm going to put onto baking sheets parchment paper, because that's what we're going to pipe this macaroon batter onto. So once I've got all the batter filled into here, I will get the baking sheets ready and I'll be back to show you what's up next. So Paityn's going to take the macaroon mixture and she's just going to pipe little circles onto the parchment paper. And then we're going to let it sit for about half an hour. And after you've got all of the macaroons like this onto the paper, you're going to take the tray and you're just going to bash it. Sorry, I let go, Paityn. I was really excited about bashing the tray. So I'll just get Paityn to pause after this one. Okay. So after that, after you've got the whole thing covered, you just want to bash it like that in order to get any air bubbles that might be in it out of them. So I'll let her keep going and then we'll be back to finish off. After the half an hour, we'll be back to put them into the oven. Once you've had the macaroons sitting at room temperature for about half an hour, you're going to put them into the oven, which has been preheated to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're going to let them bake between 10 to 15 minutes. And I always like to let mine bake for a little bit longer, so I'm always at the 15-minute mark. You'll just have to know your oven and whether it runs hot or not. So I'm going to pop them in the oven and I'll be back to show you what they should look like when they come out. So we've pulled the macaroons out of the oven.
And you're going to want to let them cool on the tray for 10 minutes, then transfer them to a cooling rack to let them finish cooling.
And then we'll be back to put the Nutella into the middle. So what Paityn and I did was we matched up the macaroon tops and bottoms with like sizes, just to help when we're going to sandwich them together. They're not so awkwardly lopsided. And so Paityn has the Nutella spread over here. And if you just want to take half of the macaroon and then put basically however much you want into the center and spread it on, and then put the top on and you're good to go. Just like that. So we'll do some of these up and we'll be back to show you a really cute way to finish them off. So what we've done is we've taken a piece of parchment paper and we've just cut a little heart out of the center of it. And I've just put it on top of the macaroon there. And Paityn's going to take a little bit of icing sugar and shake it on top. There we go. And then I'll just help you here to carefully take it off. And you've got a really fancy way to kind of spruce up your macaroon. So we're going to do a couple more and then we'll be back to finish off the video. So there you go, everybody, how to make chocolate macaroons with a hazelnut filling. You could put any sort of center into it that you would want to. Remember to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. And Paityn, where else can they find us?
Google, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
So thanks again to Paityn for coming and joining us and showing us helping me make the macaroons, and we'll see you guys all next time.